Hey guys, happy Halloween. So let me know what you guys are doing for Halloween as everyone gets in here as we're waiting. Welcome back to Vegas Aces Open Classroom live stream, where I am going to be teaching you how to pitch a deck of cards. So if you have trouble pitching a deck of cards, if you can't get your hands quite right, if you can't seem to throw it very well, no worries. We're going to go through all of that on this live stream, so that way by the end, hopefully you can pitch a deck of cards as well. Hey Tube Wings, how are you? Good to see you. This thing is freaking cool. Don't worry, I'm not gonna like shoot myself or any. I'm wearing a red shirt, I have to die. It's just part of it. Okay, so let's get back to it. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Heather Ferris with Vegas Aces. I am the CEO of Vegas-Aces.com, where I have resources and articles online to teach you how to deal or play table games. I'm also an adjunct professor at UNLV, and I do consulting work with my company and with other companies, for example, Ally Gaming. So let's get to it. If you have any questions either about pitching or about anything else in general, feel free to ask and we will get to that. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you'll always be notified of our latest videos and live streams. Hey Blackjack player, how you doing? It's cold in Texas. Yeah, it's pretty cold here too. I think we're having a cold front right now. Are you going to go out? Are you going to do anything fun? Are you guys dressing up? Are you just staying at home waiting for kids and handing out candy? Let me know. Our next live stream is our single deck blackjack tournament on Monday, November 4th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This will be a good chance for you guys to see how a single deck is played, the game, the whole game, from start to finish, and you could see what to do if you are learning how to deal a single deck blackjack game. Hey Tom, how are you? Good to see you. Happy Halloween, everyone. You'll be passing out candy? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'll be doing the same thing tonight. Now, just so you guys know, we do have an update on the website. If you haven't been there for a while, check it out. We have a new shop button on the very top. We took out entertainment. Entertainment is now on the articles section, and now you could shop. And there's a bunch of merchandise you can find there. We have a merchandise store. We have casino supplies. If you want to, for example, buy a deck of cards so you could practice pitching or you could practice shuffling, whatever, go ahead, click the link in the description below. I actually put it in the description, a deck of cards for you from Amazon. And that should help you guys out. Or, like I said, Vegas-Aces.com, the little shop button at top, and we have all of those links down there below, as well as not just casino supplies, not just merchandise, but also gifts for Christmas. Christmas is coming up, and I know we shouldn't be talking about Christmas. Halloween isn't over yet, but just so you know, it's up there as well. And one more thing, remember to tip your dealer, and now you can with Super Chat. Super Chat is the way YouTube allows you to show your appreciation by tipping me any amount you want. Go ahead, give it a try. Also, when you Super Chat, you get these really cool perks right here. Or you could show your appreciation by becoming a member of my Patreon page. We have several different levels and rewards for you to choose from. Any level counts, even $1, so please go join today. Okay, so let's get to this thing. Hey John, how are you? Happy Halloween! Where is it? I got you guys covered. There will be no Gorns attacking us today. Okay, so let's get to it. We have a double deck here. Just because a double deck is going to be like more cards to pitch, so it should be a little bit easier. So after you are done shuffling the deck and cutting the deck, which I should have a cut card right here. There we go. Then you're going to put the cards in your hand and you are going to start pitching the game. Now, when you're pitching, you want to not have the cards fly off the table. If you're pitching, if it's a live game and a card, flies off the table like that, go ahead, stop what you're doing, call over the floor, card down. As soon as the card goes down, you say card down, and you watch where that card goes down to make sure no one does anything weird. You know, make sure, I know you can't see it, but just watch the area. Have the floorman come back, he'll inspect the cards, and then you'll start dealing the game like normal. But until you can do all of that, there are many, many, many hours of at-home practice. Yes, at-home practice, you guys have homework, we have homework. All dealers pretty much have homework. A lot of what dealing is muscle memory. It's doing something over and over and over again 1,000,000 times until your body just does it naturally or automatically. And that includes pitching as well. Now, there are two types of pitching. You have pitching for blackjack and pitching for poker. Pitching for poker is different than pitching for blackjack. So what I'm teaching you today will be pitching for blackjack. When you're pitching, one of the things you want to make sure to watch out for, take a look at this right here. When you're pitching, you do not want to do this. Do not do this. Watch my wrist right here. Okay, one more time. You don't want to do that. You don't want to pitch like that. Because after hours and hours and hours of pitching like that, you are going to get carpal tunnel. You are going to have cysts form in your wrist. It's going to be very painful. And, you know, operations are pretty expensive. It's not going to be good for your wrist. And this is something you're going to be doing hours a day, days a week. So you want to make sure that you pitch it correctly. Now, what do I mean when I say pitch it correctly? You want your thumb to do the work. Go ahead, sit there, snap your fingers. You see how effortlessly that was? That's how effortlessly it is to pitch the cards. Same thing, but you're sort of doing that. Okay? Just like snapping, doing that. That's how effortlessly it is. And you're pitching the card using your middle finger. So go ahead, take your thumb, take your middle finger, put your thumb up against your middle finger, like so, and flick. Go ahead and do that. Now, when you're pitching, that's what I want you to do. I want you to flick while keeping the wrist completely straight. So the thumb and the middle finger are what's doing the work, not your wrist. Your wrist needs to be as straight as possible. Okay? Let's see what you guys are saying real quick. Hey Jimmy, how are you? Happy Halloween! Hope you guys have a great Halloween today. Are you guys off of work or do you guys have to work today? Let me know. Now, when you're practicing at home, I want you to take objects around the house, and we're going to use these objects on the table, and I want you to place them in the positions where the betting circles would be. So we're going to put this right here. We're going to put this right here. I'll actually face that so you guys can see the little skull. We'll put this right here. And we'll put two right here. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to pitch to these objects that you put on the table. So we have one object here, one object here. You can't see this one on the miniature screen. This object and this object. Now, when you're pitching on a single or double deck, never, never, never pitch to the players. Always pitch to the bets. Because sometimes there are people on the table who are just sitting down, they're not playing, and other times you might have one player betting 2 bets. If you sit there and you pitch to the people, it's easier to mess up and it's easier to forget someone or maybe give someone who you think is playing cards when they actually shouldn't be getting cards. So instead what you do is you pitch to the bets. And what I mean by that is when you're on the table, you have bets on the table, like so. And when you're pitching, you pitch to those bets. So you're aiming for those bets, okay? Always make sure that no cards are too close together when you're pitching. So pitch to the bets. Don't pitch to the people. So go get some stuff to practice with. It could be a, for example, oh, I don't know, some cleaning device, or maybe like a thick tape of duct tape, or what else could it be? Pretty much anything, like a roll of paper towels, a roll of toilet paper, anything that you want to smack with the cards, go ahead and put them on your table. Okay, so you guys can see this. There you go. So pitch to the objects just like you would if you were in a casino, and just sit there and practice literally hours and hours and hours. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If they like mesh up together, it's not a big deal. What you're doing is you're just practicing the motion of pitching, and you're making sure that you're not moving your wrist at all as you pitch. And yes, you try to pitch to the objects, but if you don't actually hit the objects, it's not a big deal. Now, if you want to have a challenge, if you want to say challenge yourself, then yeah, go ahead, have fun, make it a game. Out of, let's see, we have 2 decks here, so that's 104 cards. Out of 104 cards, you know, just do 1 deck. That might be easier for you. Out of 52 cards, how many times did I hit the object and how many times did I miss? And then do like a percentage of that, and then you could see if you have 90%, 80%, 70%. And you can try to beat your score the next time you do this, and that might make it a little more fun for you. Okay, so now let's actually talk about pitching and how to pitch. I gave you the basics for what to do when you're at home. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here and we're going to practice pitching. And when you're at home and you're practicing pitching, seriously, 30 minutes, an hour, something like that. You can even sit there and watch TV as you do it, you know, but make sure you get that time in. Hey Logie Bear, I thought you meant pitch by pitching a product of a double deck of cards. No, I'm not pitching any products. Pitching the cards. And it usually is done on a handheld game, a single deck, or a double deck. And this seems to be the thing that most dealers have trouble with, is pitching a deck. But don't worry, we're going to be going over all of that right now. How common is a pitch game compared to a shoe game? A pitch game is common enough that if a dealer applies for a middle or high-end casino, they are expected to be able to pitch a game. The trend has changed. Typically, you would see handheld games on the floor like all the rest of the games. You don't see that too much anymore. If you do, they're all 6 to 5. So it really just depends on the casino. But this is common enough the dealer should be able to know how to pitch a deck of cards. Hey, Mr. Chad, how you? Yeah. Yeah, it's gone cold pretty fast. Pitching is not as risky for game security as other things. I think a single or a double deck is more risky to security than pitching because of the card counting factor. Okay, so let's get to this. How to pitch a deck of cards. Now, the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're holding the deck of cards properly. So go ahead, get the deck of cards, get your hand. Let's see if you guys can see this on the camera. Place the deck of cards up against your hand, like so. So take the edge of the deck right here, this edge right here, place it up between this first line on your forefinger and this corner or this little indentation in your hand, because the indentation is going to go where the corner of the deck is, like so, and then the finger is going to go over the corner, and you're holding it in place like so. And go ahead and take the heel of your hand and push up like this, and get it snug in there, you want to make sure you don't have any gaps right there in between the cards. So when you're dealing and you're the players, my hands are covering the face of the cards and the side of the cards. So the player can't see what's coming up next. You're going to hold it slightly away from your body and at an upward angle again, so that way the players can't see what the next card is. Now, if you hold it too low like this, the players could see the top card, and if they mark the card, they can see what the next card is. So you never want to hold it too low. If you hold it in an upward angle and slightly away from your body, you could see that the players can't see what the next card is. So if they marked it, it'll be a little harder for them to tell what it is. Now, some dealers will hold the deck up too high. You never want to hold the deck up too high. And the reason why is if the dealer, and this is good if any of you are floormen out there, if you see a dealer holding a deck up like this, holding it too high, they might be flashing the next card to the players. Really easy, really simple. You don't want them to be flashing the next card to the player, so you don't want the cards to be so high. Again, stomach high, slightly away from the body, and at an upward angle. So when you're dealing and you're pitching, this is how it looks like when you're holding the deck. Like so. Again, slightly away from the body. You can't see what the next card is, and I'm keeping it at an upward angle. Okay, let me see if you guys have any questions real quick, and then we'll move on. Oh, before we move on, I have a question from, I believe it was Twitter, and this is from Jose H. So, and I almost forgot, Jose, I'm sorry. I was going to do it right when the live stream started, and I didn't. But I got a question from Jose, and he says, what do you do if you were a player and you're on a table and the dealer messes up and they end up paying you when they should have taken your money? What should you do? He was wondering, you know, should I tell the dealer that they made a mistake, or should I take it? I don't feel right just taking it. Well, that is a great question. I've had people ask me this a lot. In my personal opinion, if a dealer messes up and they pay you when they shouldn't have paid you, and you realize that it's a mistake, but they don't realize it and nobody else realizes it, should you tell them? Should you give the money back? My opinion on this, and this is just a personal opinion, I know how casinos feel about this, but my personal opinion on this matter is if they mess up, that is their mistake. There's no reason why you should notify them of their mistake. If they pay you more, go ahead and take it. If they say anything, if they catch you, or not catch you, because you did nothing wrong, by the way. If they catch that they made a mistake, then the most they would do is they would just ask for the money back. Oh, so sorry, sir. We apologize. A couple hands ago, we paid you when we shouldn't. We're going to have to take the money back. Okay, no problem. Here's the money back. No problem. If they don't catch that, if they end up paying you and you keep it and all's good and well, keep it. Have fun, gamble. You know, you're probably going to be gambling that money anyway. Those people, those casino, you know, managers, they're going to get their money back anyway, because you're going to be saying there, you're going to be playing with that money. More than likely, you're going to lose it. They're going to get that money back anyway. So a little more time on the table for you. That's how I see it. That's my personal opinion. Now, professionally, casinos would prefer if you did notify them so that way they could get their money back. But again, they're corporations. It's all about the profit. So of course they're going to want that. But if you were a player and if that happens to you and you do take the money, don't feel bad about it at all. Casinos are made to take your money. If they accidentally give you money in return, don't feel bad about it. Just take it. More than likely, you're going to be gambling it away anyway. So enjoy, have fun. It's all about entertainment. It's all about enjoying yourself while you're on the table. If you get a little extra cash, maybe stay at the table a little longer. Play it. Have fun. That's my personal opinion to you guys. Now let's see what you guys are saying real quick. Hey, Nathan, how you doing? Good to see you. Happy Halloween. Awesome. So glad you can make it. You didn't get a notification? I wonder why you didn't get a notification. Where do you normally get a notification? Is it on Twitter? That might help me be able to figure out what happened better. John says, do table game dealers make less than poker dealers? Because poker dealers get $1 or $2 after every hand at 25 to 30 hands per hour. Great question, John. It really depends on the casino. That's all that matters. What casino are they working at? So there are some casinos, for example, where dealers only make $20 an hour in tips. So they're only making like $50, $60, $70 per day in tips. So of course, at other casinos, you have poker dealers who can bring in between $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, some places $70,000, $75,000. They're bringing in that much. So of course the poker dealer is making more money than that break-in dealer who's working, let's say, downtown. But if you have a poker dealer who is, let's say, at the Orleans, I don't even know if, I think Orleans has a poker room. You're probably making $40,000, $50,000 a year, okay? But if you're a dealer and you're working at, say, the Cosmopolitan or the Wynn or Bellagio or Encore or Venetian or something like that, you're making $75,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. So of course that dealer, that blackjack dealer, is making more money than that poker dealer. So it really just depends on your casino that they're, it depends on the casino that they're dealing at, to answer your question. Now, if you guys want to know how much dealers make, if you're interested in knowing the tip numbers for different casinos, go to my website, vegas-aces.com, go to the resources section, and on the right-hand side, or if you're using your phone or tablet all the way down, you will see the World Toke Board, and you could see all of the toke numbers from casinos all around the world. And this should help you out. And yes, there are even numbers for poker dealers in there as well. They should have Star Trek themed casinos. I did talk to a friend of mine who is a table game inventor, and I asked him to make a Dabo game. So maybe, hopefully, one day we'll have a Dabo game in the casino. That would be fun. Okay, I'll double check that. I'll see. Thank you for notifying me that the notifications were wrong. Malik, I have seen an argument between a pit boss and a player where they claim that they overpaid that lady $2,000 on her last visit. That is just ridiculous. I agree, it is ridiculous, but they do that. A really good example of this, really good example, is, well, maybe not really. Okay, a good example. The Phil Ivey incident where him and his friend Soon were basically cheating the casino by marking the cards and not shuffle tracking, marking the cards and then like seeing what came out. And it was only after their visit, after they took the money, after they left, that the casino was like, huh, that was wrong, we want our money back, and then they sued them and they're asking for the money back. So that does happen. It could take some time, but they could come back at you and say, hey, we want that money back. More than likely it won't happen, especially if you're just like $5 player and it was just a $5 mistake. But for people like Phil Ivey, for people who win $5,000, $10,000, a lot of money, and it was a mistake and they shouldn't have been given that money, yeah, the casino will ask for that money back. Hey, Go On 21, good to see you. Thank you for joining our live stream. I always love seeing new people join the live stream. Okay, so you guys want to learn how to pitch? Let's teach you how to pitch. We learned how to hold the deck, which is very important. Now the actual process of pitching the cards. So take your card, hold it out, take your thumb and push the first card out, and with your hand, go ahead and put your hand in this position like so. you're going to put this corner of the card where this crease of your forefinger match. So the corner right here, this corner of the card is going to line up with the crease in your finger. So when you have that up next to your crease, you take your thumb and you put your thumb on that first crease right there. You're actually holding the very corner of that card. Okay? So you're holding the corner of that card. Don't hold the middle of the card. Don't hold the bottom of the card. If you hold the middle, if you hold the bottom, you are going to not be able to pitch the deck, and it's going to be really hard for you. It has to be that top corner right there. So hold the top corner like so, and using your middle finger, the nail on your middle finger, that hard little nail right there, you're flicking it off. So just like I told you with this, how you flick, it's exactly the same thing. You're taking it, the card is going to be up against your nail, your middle finger nail, and you're going to flick it just like that, and it's going to feel just like that. So take the corner, hold the corner of the card, flick it with your middle finger, and don't move your wrist. Okay? So again, hold it, flick it, don't move your wrist. Now look and see how my fingers are after I've pitched the card. This finger is out. This finger is out. It's in a slightly V shape, and the thumb is up against the hand. Okay? So you take it, flick it. One card. This is what I call following through. You take the card, you flick it, and you follow through. So your hand is out. So flick it, my hand, one out, and this. That's how you follow through. So some people, what I'm trying to tell you is when some people pitch, they don't follow through. They don't flick it. They don't have that, you know, out there afterwards. Instead, what they do is they flick, and then that's it. Like, it's just a little like, can't even do anything. I'm not even like portraying it very well. Okay. And it's because they're not following through. You have to follow through, like so. Don't be afraid to let go. Some people let go a little too early, so they let go without the flicking part. Hold it. Again, the corner of the card is right here in the crease of the finger. The thumb is on the corner. You flick, and then your hand is out. Okay? So hold it on the top. And that's okay. If it falls over, if it flips over, if something happens and it like totally messes up, it's okay. Just take the card, flip it back over, and give it to the player. That's one of the nice things about pitching on a blackjack game, is if your card flips over and you make a mistake, as long as it's not your whole card, as long as it's not a card that's supposed to be, you know, hidden. If it's one of the player's cards and it flips over, it's not a big deal. Flip it over and pass it on to them. Now, if you're pitching on a poker game and that happens, oh my God, the world just ended. Everyone's mad at you, and expect to get a lot of crap for that. So that's why when poker dealers pitch, they pitch a little differently than blackjack dealers pitch. They do it very slightly. It's like, I can't do it very well, so I'm not giving you a good example, but it's very very slight, and that way they know for sure that that card is not going to accidentally flip over, ruin the hand, and then they have to shuffle and redo it, and everyone's mad because this guy had a pair of aces and that guy had a pair. Everyone's just mad. So it's a lot easier to pitch on a blackjack game than it is on a poker game, and something like that happens and the card flips over. So let's go through it one more time. And when you're at home, again, you're just going to have to do this over and over and over and over again. And like I say, when you're learning something over and over again, go slowly. Focus on the procedure. Focus on doing everything correctly from step 1 all the way to step 10. And don't worry about being fast. Don't worry about looking like how other dealers look. Those dealers who have been pitching, they've been pitching for years. They got it down to the point where they could pitch in their sleep. You, on the other hand, you don't have that muscle memory, so there's no reason why you should look how they look, because you don't have that same muscle memory. That's why you have to put in the practice, and that's why you have to actually put in the time and effort in learning. Oh, sweet. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Does Pip have a costume? No, I need to get Pip a costume. Pip needs a costume, and I know the perfect costume for her. I want to dress her up as a playing card. Perfect. Pip. It's a Pip on a card, right? So what am I talking about? On a card, right here, you see how this is the number 7, and then you have 7 pips, or 7 dots, or 7 clubs. That's what a Pip is. A Pip is that dot. And I want to dress her up as a playing card and have her be the Pip in a playing card. That would be freaking awesome. Oh, cool. Great. And that is Joe is one too many. Hello, how you doing? So fantastic. If you have any troubles, if you have any questions, I'm glad you were able to pass your single deck audition. Awesome. That's really good. That's really hard to do, so congratulations. If you're still not confident or comfortable with pitching, it just means that you haven't put in the hours yet. So, and I'm not saying you haven't practiced. I'm sure you've practiced. I'm sure you've spent a lot of time practicing, but unfortunately we have to put in a lot of hours of at-home practice in order to get the muscle memory needed to deal. And I'm not talking about 1 hour. I'm not talking about a few hours. When you get to the point where your muscle memory is just taking over and you could just do it without thinking, it's usually between 6 months or a year later that you feel this way. So don't feel bad if you don't feel this way right away. When I'm saying that you don't feel comfortable pitching right away, that's fine. It usually takes a while and a lot of practice, a lot of practice. But yeah, if you have any questions, Joe is one too many, go ahead, ask them. I will help you. That's what this live stream is for. So feel free to ask away. Nashville, and I've only pitched on a poker table. Sweet. James says, is pitching done face up on purpose? No, pitching is not done face up on purpose. Not that I know of. I can't think of any games where pitching is where someone pitches the cards and all of the cards are face up. All of the cards are usually face down. If anyone out there can think of a carnival game where all of the cards are pitched face up, let me know. That's awesome. Oh, and speaking of which, John, for your super chat, thank you very much. Pip does get 2 treats for that. So let's give Pip a couple treats. Oh yeah, you heard your name. Come here, Pip. She's like, I heard treats and I heard my name. Come here, Pippy. This seems weird. Does any strip casinos do this? So what are you talking about when you say do any strip casinos do this? Are you talking about pitching? Because yeah, strip casinos do pitch. Most casinos do have pitching on their casino floor. If you see a single deck or a double deck on a casino floor, more than likely it's a 6-5 game. If you see a single or double deck on a high limit area or in a high limit area, that would typically be about 3-2. So blackjack would pay 3-2. Pip. Come here, Pip. Oh, Pip says thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what else you guys are saying. Nashvillean, correct. Yes, pips are also the dots on a dice. Absolutely. So what are we talking about? So if you have some dice. Okay, so check that out right there. On this dice, you could see the number 2, right? It has 2 small dots on it. Well, those dots are also called pips. So that's not a good example. So this has 4 pips and this dice has 2 pips. And yes, on the dice and on cards, they're both called pips. Oh, there you go. So this one has 2 pips and the card has 4 pips. I guess it'd be good if I actually showed the camera so you guys could see it. Yep, and on dominoes too. Exactly. So let's see if I could give you guys a good example. On a domino, these are pips as well. These dots right here, those are also called pips. Fantastic. My hands were hurting since we were training for 8 hours. After 4 hours into training, I was wondering why I was holding the deck too tight. Yes, that is a fantastic point. Thank you for bringing that up. So that's what a lot of break-in dealers have a problem with when they are holding the deck or pitching the cards, is they tend to hold the deck too tightly. So if you notice that the color of your skin is changing at your knuckles, you're holding the deck too tightly. If you're holding the deck for an hour and your hand hurts pretty bad after holding that deck for an hour, you're holding the deck too tightly. Have it be comfortable. Have it be loose. You're just holding it. It's all chill. Everything's cool. You don't have to be strangling it or anything. It didn't do anything to you. Just hold it nice and comfortable at stomach height and slightly away from the body. You're just holding it in your hand. You're not killing it. And I did that, by the way. I've had friends who have done that, and people who I teach, they do that. So everyone does that. So don't worry if you're doing that. It's just one of those things where you figure it out. Oh, and now you know, and then you change your behavior, and hopefully it's a lot easier and better for you. Oh, you have to work for Halloween? That sucks. Oh. But that's good that they're sticking you on a single or double deck, because that means you're getting paid to practice. So that's good. It's all good, James. Hey, Chad, how are you? You don't have any pitch games in your casino? Yeah, there are some casinos that don't have any pitch games. Also, you might see a, it's really fun, but there are some casinos where their dealers are break-in dealers and they can't pitch the game, but they still want to offer a single deck or a double deck game. So instead of having them pitch, they'll actually have a single deck shoe or a double deck shoe and have the dealers deal out of that double deck shoe. And that makes it easier for the dealers so they don't have to pitch. So is pitching only happen on super premium tables? No, there are plenty of pitching tables, single deck, double deck, where it's still low limit. You're still paying $5 minimum, $10 minimum, and you could still pitch. But I would say with those games, you're going to see like a 6 to 5 payout on blackjack. And if you see a single or double deck pitch game in the high limit, then that would be like a 3 to 2 blackjack. Oh, this is fun. Ah. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. And this is what I would do when I would practice at home. When I was learning, when I was a break-in dealer, is I would actually pitch to my dog. Oh, my cards. Those poor cards did not last very long. My dog put so many holes in it. I would pitch the cards. This is how I practiced at home. I would pitch the cards to my dog, and my dog would try to chase it or catch it. And they had, I swear, there were so many holes and everything in those cards from teeth marks and everything. And I would just sit there, and it was just so much freaking fun. So that's a really good way of practicing, especially if you have an animal at home. It makes things a little more entertaining. And then you're playing with them as you're learning. When I'm doing that, the cards are flying. Yeah. And again, that's why you want to practice at home. So let's do this again. You hold the cards. Take your hand, hold it out. You're lining up the cards between this crest in your finger and this part of your hand where it folds in. That's where you're holding the cards, right there. Using the palm of your hand, you're pushing the cards up so it fits snugly in your hand and there's no gap here. Sometimes what break-in dealers do is they don't hold the deck properly, and then you see this huge gap in between the deck, and you could see like the face, you could see basically this side of the deck. That's horrible. You never want to have that gap right there. So when you're holding it, make sure the cards are snug up in your hand and that there's no gap or anything right there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you going to try to get that? Seriously? What, you want that ghost? Yeah, you want that ghost, don't you? Go chase the card. Okay, now she's starting to get bored. Okay, I'm going to take Pip down off of here. She's totally bored. Come on, Pip. There you go. No, that's not a toy. I don't know why, but she thinks that's a toy. No, it's not a toy. No, you can't have it. So hold the deck like so. Make sure there are no gaps. Push the first card out. Line up this corner of the card with this crease of the finger. Hold the top portion, the top corner of the card. Do not hold the card in the middle. Do not hold the card at the bottom. Hold the card at the very top. And then using your finger, you're going to flick it. Flick it. And then just do that over and over and over again. Flick. Like so. And if you want to know the feeling of that, take your finger, your middle finger, put it up against your thumb and flick. And that's what it feels like when you're pitching the deck. That's what you want it to feel like, is that type of pressure, that type of flicking. So go ahead. And that gives you a good idea of what it's like when you're pitching. And just sit at home, watch TV, and practice. Now, as you're pitching, as you're going through and cards are leaving your hand, you're going to have to readjust this. That's okay. It's not a problem to take the cards and readjust this. Just so long as, no, hey, stop that. Sorry. Just so long as you're holding the deck slightly away from your body and at an upward angle. That's totally okay. Oh, now she's fixated. I don't know what it is, but sometimes things just catch her attention and she gets fixated on something. For example, I got a Tribble keychain from the G2E, and she is just fixated on the Tribble keychain. She thinks that Tribble keychain is hers, and she doesn't know why I don't give her the Tribble keychain. So she just gets fixated like this. I don't know why. She just does. There we go. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying real fast. Pip. Star Trek moment. Wait till you get 4 pips on the uniform, Lieutenant. You'll wish you had gone into botany. Oh, that's awesome. I love that, Nashville, and that's a perfect quote. Okay, so when you're at home, you're going to set up items. It doesn't matter what the item is. Just set up items or use your dog. And go ahead and spend plenty of hours practicing pitching to either the dog or to the items that you set out. And again, you're trying to hit them. So you're aiming and you're trying to hit the item like so. And if the cards go over, under, if they fly, if you make a big old mess, that is okay. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to learn how to do the actual movement without moving your wrist. So again, you want to use your middle finger to flick it out without moving your wrist. You could use your nail. You could use this portion of your finger. And depending on like how big your hands are, you might even use this portion of your finger or how small your hands are. But just do what feels comfortable and get that flicking motion in there. Okay, so let's see if you guys have any questions. It is 2:48 p.m., so we have approximately 10 more minutes left. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll do some more pitching before we go. And you guys can watch Pip. That's what she does when she wants something. That's what she does when she wants something. What? What do you want? So go ahead, ask a question. If you have any questions on how to pitch, if there's anything that you're having a problem with, let me know. I will help you out. I'm here for you. Also, too, if you like what I've been doing, either the last live stream where I taught you guys how to shuffle, this live stream where I taught you how to pitch, let me know and I'll do more of those. It's not so much how to play the game as how to do these dealing procedures. And I'm wondering if you guys want more live streams on how to do dealing procedures than you do, say, wanting to know how to just play a game. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Let me know what your opinion is. I'd like to hear that. And until then, let's continue pitching. So let's use Pip. Pip, come here, Pip. And then turn around, Pip. Okay, good. Now follow the cards. No, no, don't move. Come here. Arr, arr. What happened? Where'd it go? Where is it? Oh, sorry. Sorry. I know, I'm sorry. Yeah. Where are they going? I know, where are they going? Yeah, she is a cutie pie. And she'll just sit here and talk with you and have a conversation with you. And then this is what she does when she wants attention. She puts herself right up in your face and she's like, you gotta give me my attention that I want. I know, right? Okay, you're gonna have to move off the table. I need that table for pitching. This is not a Pip live stream. This is a pitching live stream, not a Pip live stream. Okay. Will you be good? No more trying to get the ghost? Okay, good. No, I said no more trying to get the ghost. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, set up your living room. Have everything out in place. You can sit down, but it would be better if you could stand, because when you're pitching on a live casino game, you're going to be standing. So it's better to practice while you're standing than sitting. You can practice while sitting, but it's good to practice while standing too. And then just sit there and aim for those items and pitch away. Try not to move your wrist. Try just to flick your hand. Go from left to right, just as you would if you were in a casino. And if you want to make it more fun, interesting, or challenging, go ahead and do that scoreboard where you write down how many times you actually hit the mark and how many times you miss, and then figure out your percentage off of that. And you could have someone helping you. You could have someone being the counter or something and, you know, counting every time you hit the object versus how many times you miss. And then when you're done, collect the cards and do it all over again, and keep doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again, because all it is muscle memory, and all that is hours of at-home practice. Every single dealer has to practice at home. It's just part of it, which is why I say anyone could be a dealer. Anyone can practice this stuff at home, because guess what? We all have to practice this stuff at home anyway. Whether we go to a dealing school or not, we're all supposed to go home and practice this at home. So anyone can do this. Ha! Thanks, appreciate that. I like doing the helicopter pitch. The helicopter pitch was always my favorite type of pitch, and I'll show you guys what I mean when he says this. I used to love pitching like this when I pitched. This is what the, now it's not necessarily the best because you could see the cards. Like if you do high enough, if the helicopter's high enough, you could see. So it's not technically the best way to do it, but oh, it's so much fun. And I would enjoy it and I would pitch this way. Okay, so what is the helicopter pitch? Let me get into the mode. I might mess up the first few times, but this is basically what the helicopter pitch is. Ah, knew I screw up a few times. And again, when you're practicing, it's okay if the cards go over the table or away or whatever. It's okay if you don't hit your mark. You just want to sit here and practice. So that's what the helicopter pitch is. It's like a nice little flick up. I don't know. I just really love doing that. And that's one of those things that you'll learn after you've been on the table for a year or 2 or 3 years and you've been practicing and you've spent so many hours doing it. That's when you start learning the different types of pitches and you start getting your own style and you start having fun with it. So again, and it's okay if it goes over. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions. We have just a few more minutes left of the live stream. So if you have any questions, now is a great time to ask. And let me know if you guys want me to do live streams like this again, where I talk about the procedures of dealing the game versus how to play the actual game. So you sit there, hold it slightly away from your body at an angle, and you pitch to the objects that you put out. It doesn't have to be chips. It could be anything like these objects, but just have something where you have a target that you're aiming for. And if, like I said, one of them sort of goes limp, if you mess up, if one of them, you know, flips over, if one of the cards goes over the table, don't stop. Just keep going. It's okay. It's not a big deal. You're not trying to get 100% perfect. You just want to get those hours in. You want to get that practice in. Because the only way you're going to learn this is hours of at-home practice. Now, how do you do the helicopter pitch? I don't know. I've never explained to anyone how to do the helicopter pitch before. So when you're doing a normal pitch, you do what I showed you. When you're doing a helicopter pitch, instead of aiming down towards the bets, like what I'm doing is I'm aiming towards these bets when I'm doing this. When I'm doing the helicopter pitch, I'm sort of aiming up and towards the player. So like that. And that's sort of like a helicopter. And it's up and towards the player. So it's where you, I guess it's where you aim. Anyway, it's one of those things that you do after years of pitching. And then you'll get the hang of it. You'll get a flow of the cards. You'll get a good control of the cards. And you'll be able to pitch however you decide you want to pitch. Whether that's normal or any other way. Now, let's see if you guys have any questions. If not, I think we're going to call it good for the day. I think I'll just leave all the cards up here. I'm not going to... Yeah, I'll just leave all of them up there. I like these. The playing the game streams got kind of stale after so many times. Yeah, if you didn't have anything new to go over. I agree with you, Jimmy. It did give it a little stale after a while. Do you guys feel that way about the tournaments? Because I could do how to do a procedure on Thursdays and Mondays, or we could keep the tournaments on Mondays. Let me know. Let me know what you think. If you have any more questions, ask now. Otherwise, Just a quick reminder, Vegas Aces is supported by viewers like you. Donations do make it possible for us to bring you these videos for free. If you think that this video was worth more than $0, go ahead and donate the amount you feel it was worth by clicking the link in the description below. I hope you guys have a fantastic Halloween. I hope you guys have fun, enjoy yourselves, dress up, eat a lot of candy, go to haunted houses, and then I want you guys to tell me all about it on my next live stream. I will see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And thank you guys. I appreciate it. Have a good Halloween. Bye. Happy Halloween. Wait. Ah! Okay, I couldn't make myself scary. I tried.